Thank you for joining me today. My name is Hoda. For those of you joining for the first time, I am a career management professional. What that means, I do work with careers, and I do have a lot of roles. My most important role that is relevant to our session today is working with individuals to help them find their career path. So if you have any questions about your next step, whether it's in your education journey or your career journey, this is what this session is all about. And this is what we will be working on today. So usually I like to start with something for you to think about, and that is based on experiences with clients or questions that happened in previous sessions. One of the most important questions that was brought my attention last time was, how can I manage my stress level when I know I won't be able to find a job? This is a situation that is not unique to one person, as I have experienced it with clients as well as in question sessions. While I'm not an expert in managing stress levels, I do have some tips that I'd like to share with you that I put together for you to use, and let me know if they work for you. Breathing exercises are known to help to manage stress level. Lots of research show that. I'm going to share with you one exercise that is easy to apply even as you're sitting right now. And all it entails, and I've just done that, is for you to take a deep breath. Take a deep inhale and then just let out a big exhale, an equally big exhale. Ideally, you would do it standing up, stretching out your arms. I've written some blogs about this. And again, while I'm not a breathing expert, I know this one works for me and for many of my clients. They particularly use it before interview, but also it should help you right now as these thoughts of I'm not going to find a job start creeping in. Reality is you will find a job. There are jobs out there being posted, but you just have to work a little bit harder at it because of the situation that we are in. Most importantly, what you need to do is to believe in yourself. You do have skills and abilities and knowledge that are unique to you. And if you believe that, then you're already halfway into getting out of that stress situation. Whether you are 14 or 40, the things you have done so far in your life have provided you with skills, abilities, and knowledge that are unique to you. So you are unique, and these unique capabilities will help you find a job. Once you're aware of these capabilities, you have to remind yourself that you have to be truly confident. One of the tips I share with my clients, and they usually do it in a washroom right before an interview. So you go to the washroom, you take that inhale and exhale that we talked about, lift both arms and say, I am confident. You really have to say it at least 3 times, but you will leave the washroom feeling very confident. And that's what a lot of my clients tell me. Now you are home and your interviews are online, so you can always do that before you join a call to increase your confidence. But more importantly, right now, as we talk about managing stress level at home, where you haven't made it to the interview stage yet, what is important is for you to remember that these capabilities should give you the confidence that you will find a job. Believe in your ability to go on a journey of self-exploration. Whatever you're going through right now is part of your life and career journey. And rather than stress about the fact that you cannot find a job, think of it as a journey that is allowing you to learn more about yourself. By thinking of it that way and looking at it from the perspective, well, I need to know more about me. Because, and honestly, and I think I've seen a quotation about that, is that if you do not know yourself and what you have to offer, how can you expect the person reading your resume or interviewing you to know? So you really have to start that journey of self-exploration. It is so important for your success. And that journey will start by purposefully self-assessing what you are good at, self-assessing your interests, your values. And this can be done by doing daily reflections or weekly if you find you don't have the energy for that. These reflections will entail you looking into your day. What are you doing every day? What is important in that day? What makes you wake up in the morning and say, oh, I have this to look forward to? And I've had clients come and say that they look forward to a pizza dinner. And that is good too. It's a good path on finding your interests. So put that pizza dinner on and what is special about it. And this could potentially, believe it or not, lead you to finding your interests and learning more about your values. And with that, you can write a better resume, a better cover letter, and you can interview better as well. And finally, I just don't want to spend too much time on this. Look at every challenge or failure as a learning opportunity. When you look at things as a learning opportunity, your stress level will go down. It's not just about saying, oh, well, it is what it is. It's about learning from that challenge or failure. And I'll give you a couple of examples. One of them, if you applied, let's say, to 100 jobs and you didn't get not even one interview, perhaps you can look at it as a challenge rather than a failure, and then go back and see what is wrong with your resume. Have someone read that resume, maybe edit it, maybe you misspelled a word. More importantly, whatever job you apply to, remember the ATS system is looking for keywords. And unless you make sure you include at least 10 keywords from the job posting, there's a high chance that the ATS system will pass you. So that's your challenge, is to see what is it that you're not doing right. Again, if you make it to an interview, how did you do? What is it that you did not answer right? And if that's on your mind, I've had some clients actually email the person who interviewed them and ask them, why didn't they make it? Some will respond to you and give you the answers you're looking for. Otherwise, others may ignore your email altogether. Either way, if you're curious and you cannot figure out what you did wrong, it's not a bad thing to try and follow up. So this is what I want to leave you with. Just a few tips to manage your stress level, breathing exercises, believing in your capabilities. Always say, I am confident. It really makes a difference. You are on a journey of self-exploration, whether you realize it or not. So believe that you can do it, that you are going to manage that journey and not let other factors lead it for you. Self-assessment, self-reflection, self-knowledge is also important for you, because if you don't know yourself, you can't really expect others to know you and to share that knowledge with them. And finally, And that's important. Look at every challenge or failure as a learning opportunity. So next we are going to move to your questions, and I'm very excited to hear them today. Before I start reading them, I want to remind you to tap any questions you have in the chat. If I don't get to them today, I will deal with them in the next session. But what I want you to remember, there are no right or wrong questions. To me, no question is too silly to contemplate, because if it's on your mind, then it must be important. So definitely no question is too silly to share. And finally, my promise to you, if I don't know the answer, I will let you know, and I will elaborate on it in future sessions. Or if you like to email me that I did not answer your question, I will respond in a written email for you back. So let's take a look at your questions. I'm 15 years old. Family and friends ask me, what do I want to be when I grow up? I really do not know. When will I know? This is a very good question, and I believe you will know when you are ready to know. And the fact that you asked this question, then you are ready to start this journey of knowledge. As I said before, you have to start this journey of knowledge on your own. Otherwise, you are allowing other factors to lead it for you. And at 15, this to me, in my opinion, 14, 15-year-olds is a great time to start reflecting on that journey. Not because we're saying, whoa, you're 15, you need to get a job soon. But we're saying 15 is a great time to get started to think about it, so that when it's time for you to get a job, whether right after high school or after university, you already have a good idea about what you want to do. One tip about starting to know your journey actually is something I shared already today, which is start to reflect on what is it that you do in your daily life. What do you really enjoy? And let's say hanging out with friends or playing a video game. Take it into detail. What is it about playing that video game that you like? Is it seeing the characters in action, or is it the challenge for yourself? It really depends on the game that you play. But this would be a good start for you to start reflecting on what do you do in that game, or hanging out with friends, what is special about it? And from there, as you dig deeper and ask yourself questions, or even have other friends or family members or people you work with ask you that question about it. So we would start with it. What do you like to do? When you wake up in the morning, what are you excited about? Is it your game at 5 p.m.? Game with friends? Have someone else ask you these questions if you're thinking, well, I don't know how to go any further than that. Other people who care about you will be willing to take on that challenge, and ask them to just say, get into detail about that game and what is it that you like about it. That would be the first step for you to know what you want to be when you grow up. I have written a blog about how to start this reflection journey. So go to Hoda's blog and check out my blogs and see which one appeals to you. There's a lot of opportunities for you to reflect on what questions to be asked and what question for you to reflect on. All right, moving on to the next question. I am not feeling challenged in my current job. Should I just quit? This is a very interesting question. I don't usually recommend anyone quit their job, and particularly in this market, I don't think you should. What I do recommend is, if you're not feeling challenged in your job, but you do have some spare time, now working from home, think of it as the time you took to drive to work. Reflect on why you're not feeling challenged in your job, and what do you think will challenge you. What is it that you are missing from this job? Reflection to me is key, and I would definitely always recommend that you start with that before you make any move. So definitely think about what's not keeping you challenged. If you find what you miss and you find that you need skills to move to a different job, then maybe it's a good time to start upgrading your skills so they can start applying for a job. Again, you really have to find your reasons, because if you don't know the reasons you're not challenged, then no one can help you. And then as well, you will not know if you quit where you're going to go to. Now, if you have the financial means to quit your job, and if you're feeling that you really cannot take it anymore, then that would be something to reflect on. Should I quit your job? But finding a job, as everyone knows, is not that easy. And so taking the time to reflect on what you hate about your job or what is not challenging, do you feel there are no new opportunities? And if that's one reason, for example, then for sure start applying to other companies where you feel you are going to be challenged. So I hope that answers your question, but if you'd like to talk more about it, because you really need to hear more about what you don't like about your job and why you are hating that sentiment, feel free to book a session with me. First session is being booked for free now because of the COVID-19 crisis, and we can get you started on that reflection journey. Next question is, I am unsure what to do after college. What should I do? This is good to ask because that tells me you have started your reflection journey about what you want to do after college. And if you're graduating this year, I would say definitely start looking for opportunities. There are online opportunities available for you. So start looking. And I'm not saying applying necessarily, because unless you're sure of what you want to do, because you may want to continue on to another degree, because if that's one of your options. Definitely volunteering is an option as well. It will help you start to get an idea of what you would like to do after college. I take you back to reflection. To me, it's so important, and I seem to be repeating it, but it is important to know yourself. And for anyone who's going to try and help you, for anyone who's going to try and hire you, you need to know what is it that you want to do. And with that, reflection becomes important. Now, you have entered college and you have completed a college degree. Again, I would like to know more about the degree that you got. Is it engineering degree or mathematics or English literature? With all that, the opportunities start to become clearer on what you could do. And for you, if you've graduated college and you're not sure, that tell me that perhaps the degree that you took did not fulfill some of your hopes. So that's something to ask yourself. And finally, I would say talk to your professors, the teachers who taught you in college. Ask them their opinion, what they know about you, what they know about the projects you turned in, and what do they think would be a good opportunity for you. I really recommend having what I call a board of directors for your career. And it could include anyone from friends, parents, professors, mentors in a specific field that you're interested in. Having that group of people or hiring a career coach, they can tell you what they see in you if you don't want to just do that reflection journey on your own. So not knowing a lot about you, I would say definitely go back to your professors, talk to your parents, and try to get ideas from there. All right, we do have time for one more question. So we will go ahead with, when I first graduated from university, I felt that I had the power to change the world. Many years have passed and I feel that I have not accomplished any of my big dreams. What am I doing wrong? Sometimes we do go through this. I believe that you probably have accomplished some of your dreams. They may not be your big dreams, but I believe that you have accomplished some dreams. We don't go through life without accomplishing anything typically, especially if you've got a job and you're working. But that tells me that you are going through a phase where you have to stop and rethink your goals, rethink your values, and say, okay, these were my big dreams. How can I plan a pathway to complete them? It's never too late. I had my dream of receiving a doctorate degree for many years, and I received it after I turned 50. That was a big dream for me. And so I do recommend that you do spend some time and revisit your goals or these big dreams that you're talking about. What are they, and how can you create a career path to accomplishing at least one of them? And you don't want to overwhelm yourself if you have a lot of dreams. Take it one dream at a time, and perhaps start with the dream that you can accomplish the fastest, or maybe start with the dream that is the most important. So probably start with making a list of that dreams. And if we had an opportunity to chat, we would just make a list of those dreams and say, okay, how can we do them? Do you need a skill upgrade? Do you need to network more? Do you need to work more on some things rather than others? Do you need to change your job? And questions such as these questions will help you find way to accomplish at least one dream. So you are on a journey of self-exploration all the time. And that is another way where self-exploration becomes important. What are your dreams, and how are you hoping to accomplish them? So time is almost up. And I have to move on to my next thing that I like to share with you and leave you with something to reflect on for next week. This is one of my favorite quotations. I found it in a book by DeMille. Fate whispered to the warrior, "You cannot withstand the coming storm." And you know what the warrior whispered back? "I am the storm." You are the storm of your career. So definitely go boldly and work hard and reflect, and the storm will accomplish a lot. Finding a job, accomplishing big dreams. So thank you so much for attending. I'd just like to finish up with reminding you that I am on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Pinterest. If you like to message me or learn more about what I do as a career coach or a career management professional. I'm also on YouTube, and this is where you will find video of this session. Feel free to share it with others who you think may be interested, or if you would like to have a look at it again and listen to the session, it is available on YouTube at RCF, Right Career Fit. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.